It's no secret that it's extremely beneficial to have a deep voice. It's been proven time and time again that men with deeper voices are perceived as more trustworthy and better leaders. After all, a deep voice is one of the biggest indicators of high testosterone, which people want to follow. Now, you might be thinking that you're stuck and bound by your genetics to a life of a high, squeaky voice. But it's not true. There are actually things you can do right now to achieve and get the appearance of a deeper, more authoritative voice. Now, there's also long-term plans you can do to actually deepen your voice over time. It's gonna take a while, but you can do it. But this is not that video. Why would I include that when I can make a separate video and get twice the ad revenue? So this is 4 steps that you can take right now to achieve the appearance, the illusion of a deeper, more authoritative voice. And hang in there, because at the end, I'm gonna share something embarrassing that I used to do that will give you an instant deeper voice. And I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but you know what? I'm here to help you guys, so I'm gonna give it to you. So let's get this going. Number 1, the first thing that you need to do, kind of a no-brainer, and this is make sure that you have a clean, clear throat at all times. You ever notice sometimes you just get a random squeaky voice? Maybe it's when you first wake up in the morning or after the gym or just randomly, who knows, right? The reason being is because you get phlegm or junk or mucus kind of stuck in your vocal chain, and it gives you a whistly kind of squeaky voice. So tip number 1, always make sure that you have a clean, clear throat. So how do you achieve that? Simply clear your throat. Make sure you do that throughout the day. Also drinking lots of water, and actually the best temperature water is lukewarm water, because too cold and too hot of water can have adverse effects on your vocal cords, making your voice actually sound different. So lukewarm water, also having some lemon in that water, can actually be advantageous as well. Number 1, easy, clear your throat all the time. Step number 2, speak from your belly and not your chest. Most people don't think about it, and they're speaking very congested, very tense up from their chest and their throat, when in reality you need to break this habit. It's better to speak more relaxed from your belly and let the words kind of resonate down here, because there's a lot of untapped space down here for the actual notes and the voice, for the actual voice to resonate, right? So you should relax, breathe, let your belly fill up, kind of relax, and your thyroid cartilage should actually come down just a little bit. You notice when you let this relax and come down, you get a deeper voice naturally. But when you're speaking from your chest and up here in your throat and your cartilage is up, you get this higher, more squeaky voice. So relax, let this come down, and you will speak more thoroughly and deeper. You'll notice an immediate drop in your tonality by probably like at least 1 octave. And as you're doing this, I also recommend practicing fully pronouncing the words that you're saying. Most people in this kind of mumble era of this generation, they don't pronounce words fully. They kind of just blend and talk in cursive. An example is, say you want to talk to your boss about getting a raise or a promotion or something like that. A lot of people would say something like this: "Hey, Mr. Martin, I'd like to speak with you," right? Instead, take your time, speak slower, deeper into your belly, pronounce your words so it sounds something more like this: "Hey, Mr. Martin, I'd like to speak with you later." Sounds a whole lot better, and you're going to be taken more seriously and more respectfully. So that's 2, speak from the belly. Number 3 is the biggest thing, the biggest trick, other than the last secret one I'm going to share with you, but this is going to make a world of difference. And when I learned this from one of my mentors, Baron Cruz, from the channel The Charisma Matrix, it literally changed my life. And this is to speak with rapport neutral or rapport breaking tonality. Let me explain. Most people speak with rapport-seeking tonality, and I'm extremely aware of it, being here in Hollywood with, the Valley Girl up talk tonality, and it kind of sounds like this. It's very supplicative. You kind of bump your tone up 1 level, so it's a little bit higher pitched, and then your inflection kind of bends upward at the end of what you're saying, so it kind of sounds like everything you're saying is asking a question, right? So it would sound something like, "Hey, how are you? How was your weekend?" Notice how was your weekend? kind of curves upward. You see, it's a very supplicative way of speaking. It's interchangeable. Supplicative, rapport seeking. It's how people speak when they think they're talking to someone with a lot higher status than them. A king, a queen, officer, somebody like that. Why? Well, it's because these people have influence over your life. They could give you a promotion. They could give you a raise. They could, the king, off with your head, lop your head off, or he could give you all the wealth in the world. So people speak with this lower status inflection because I want to show I'm not a threat. You don't have to worry about little old me, right? Don't worry about me. I'm really nice and helpful, right? But in reality, it's the people that speak with more purpose and more status that actually are perceived as higher status. So what do you do? What do you change? Well, you want to speak with more rapport neutral or rapport breaking tonality. Let me explain. So unlike rapport seeking, rapport neutral is, your even tone, your normal tone, but it's even all the way through. You're not having a downward or upward inflection. So instead of, hey, how are you? It's, hey, how are you? Right? It's how you would talk to a friend or your parents or somebody on the same level of status as you. Rapport neutral. Rapport breaking is where you have a little bit lower octave and you actually curve downward. You have a downward inflection at the end of whatever you're saying. So this is used a lot by police officers, bosses, CEOs, people with higher status. Hey, how are you? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Right? How was your weekend? Curves down. It kind of, puts you in your place a little bit. It lets you know that this guy doesn't have to qualify himself to you. So you want to try to adopt more of a rapport neutral with a touch of rapport breaking tonality, but by all means, avoid rapport seeking tonality. This put together with speaking clearly, pronouncing your words, speaking from your belly. Let's use the previous example that I gave you. You want to talk to your boss about getting a raise or promotion instead of, hey, Mr. Martin, can I speak with you later? Hey, Mr. Martin, I'd like to speak with you later, right? These few tricks are going to have an incredible effect on how people respond to you, how they respect you, and how they perceive you, and the status that they assign to you. So, those are the three main ones. Now I'm going to share with you the sort of embarrassing thing that I used to do to achieve an instant deep voice. And so I've shared this before, but it is simple. On the way to an event, maybe I'm going to meet up with a girl for a date or going to a party or a gathering, an event, something where I'm going to be talking to a lot of people. On the way there in my car, I would scream at the top of my lungs for about 15 seconds straight. Now, the point of doing this is to actually inflame my vocal cords to give myself a mild case of laryngitis or, losing your voice. When you lose your voice, you sound kind of hoarse, but you do have a much deeper voice. Now, little disclaimer. This probably isn't actually going to be healthy for your voice in the long run. I don't really know all the downsides of this, but yeah, this is what I used to do. And you will definitely have a temporary deep voice for probably the next 12 to 15 hours. Now, I haven't done this in quite some time just because it is kind of strain your voice. It is kind of a lot of effort. But if I was going to meet up with Elon Musk or something and I wanted to make sure my voice was on point, I'd probably do it. So that is it. That is how to achieve a deeper voice instantly. Just combine these 4 things. Also the 5th one if you'd like, but do it in your car. Don't, freak everybody out. I will make a video in the future on how to actually exercise and over time develop a permanent deep voice. So watch out for that, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and until next time, peace.